Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. It's Tuesday and I have been doing a series for a couple months now, I think, for my Tackle It series. I do mine on Tuesday, so it's Tackle It Tuesday. But if you're a content creator and you want to play along, just use the hashtag Tackle It so other people can find you. So, and if you were just somebody watching, you can incorporate this in your life however you see fit. It's just a fun way to kind of go back and look at some things that we might have forgotten about. In my case, I definitely forgot about, and do something about it. In some cases, it's just literally pull it out. Other cases, like, hey, put that thing back on the needles. You like it. You started it, and then way back when it was exciting. Go ahead and work on it. And to my surprise, I found quite a few things, and we're only on the second bin. This is the size bin, right? That I've been able to put back on the needles. And I don't even know if we need to go back in the bin today. There's a lot that it's been kind of up and down and where we need to be. I didn't see the grandkids last couple days, or last day. I don't know, all the days run together, right? So I need to get the girls over, the bigger girls, and see on this, and I do have it out. Look, it is out, because I squandered my opportunities. I've had the kids over to measure, and it just didn't, other things were going on, so it didn't happen. But refresher on this, I made this thing years ago. It is my own pattern design. It's got some freeform crochet lace in the back, just some crazy motifs, right? No rhyme or reason. The yarn is Hobby Lobby sparkly pink, something that's been discontinued. I have no idea. Don't have the ball bands. I obviously wound it up quite a bit, so I was playing with the design multiple times. And you know, it's right to the point. I have all sorts of ends and stuff. It's a mess. But look, I even have, was I trying to do it again? I mean, what is this thing besides tangled up? What is this? Yeah, I was trying to do a smaller version or something, a smaller or larger, I don't know. But I didn't have anything cut, or yeah, I don't generally try to, while I'm designing or trying to do something, I don't necessarily cut my ends because I might not want to keep it that way and then be able to rip it all out and not have a bunch of ends when I want to do something again. So I've got some random piece, who knows, and I have this that if I like it, i.e. it fits an actual human body, then what I can do is cut off all my ends, you know, got my ends, put a button right here, big shiny button, might do some lace in between here. I've got plenty of yarn to do that because that is way too low. You've got to wear a t-shirt or something underneath it. But the arms are that, you know, and the rest of the stuff is bigger. I'm not thinking it's right. And unlike the sweater that I just helped to finish for my grandson, that one I had to take the neck out. That one was a purchase. It was handmade, but I purchased. I didn't make it. And the neckline was bound off way too tight. So I ended up ripping that out. You can go back and look. It's just a couple days ago. And fix that neckline. I was able to do that without having to take out the entire sweater. That's fantastic. But this crocheted, and it's crocheted from the top down. So if I want to fix these sleeves, I've got to rip from here all the way up. And at that point, just reclaim the yarn. Just at that point, reclaim the yarn and call it done. So I might end up doing that. Once I get a child to try that on, if those arms work and they like it, I'll finish it. If the arms work and they don't like it, why would I finish it? I'll just reclaim the yarn. And obviously if it's a little too tight, well, yarn reclaiming. So this one, it's in limbo. Yeah. But if they like it, it'll be finished pretty doggone quick. There's not much left on it. And I think I left it like that. Well, for one, I made it 3+ years ago, way bigger than what the kids were. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be just reclaim the yarn. I really do. I'm going to give it that opportunity with the kids, but I really, yeah, between you and me, I think I'm going to be ripping that thing out. I've got a ball winder, so if I want to cut the yarn, I'll cut the yarn and then just ball, you know, start cranking that cake and everything and turning that the whole thing into a cake, as opposed to trying to add it onto something like this. because that's a chaotic mess too. And you know, because I keep grabbing it like this, I am just in this crazy mess mode, right? I have these strings and whatever. Yeah, I should care more. I should care more and take better care of my stuff. But you know, it's one of those, I made it, I can untangle it. It's all right. It's, you know, so it doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm going to set it right there. But again, I do have it out and I do have it ready so I can at least try it on one of the children and get an idea. And the other one, so I've got that right there is out. But things that I've actively worked on are these socks. This is the socks by Cookie A. It's the Pomontimus sock. Here's the finished one. And I finished this 19 years ago. And here is the one I'm working on. Where that marker is where it was left. And it wasn't even on needles. I did that in another video where it wasn't on needles. I picked up all the stitches and everything. I'm like, ooh. So it'd been off needles for quite some time. So I picked up all those live stitches. But that's how much I've gotten done. And this is a 19-year-old sock. So I'm impressed. Let's just hope that I can get it done in under 20 years, right? I'm just saying, you know, it's a goal. It's a goal. And I don't feel hard pressed because I had one sock for 19 years. I could wait a while on the next. I could. I think I should probably put some work into it. But, you know, it's an option. It could happen. But it has gotten a lot of love so far. And I am excited about that one too, especially to make the socks that I want to make throughout the year. I try to do at least 10 pair of socks a year. I have finished some socks, but I already gave them away. So those they count, but they don't count towards the end of the year because I try to get all my children and their spouses, I have 3 kids, and their spouses and my husband socks, and my mother-in-law socks for every year at Christmas time. And, you know, you're like, what about you? These are mine. So they don't necessarily count. They're not going in the bin. I started this for myself 19 years ago, so I'm going to keep them. They're going to be mine, unless, of course, somebody oohs and ahs in just the right tone, and then I lose them. I mean, I haven't had them for 19 years already. What's the difference? I mean, whatever. But I obviously wasn't making that for one of the kids because 19 years ago, their feet weren't that big. They weren't, except for my oldest son. But those wouldn't have been for him. He'd wear them, but they definitely wouldn't fit. So that has been out of hibernation. I've got the Miranda sweater, which is 10 years old, out of hibernation, and I'm working on that. It was a crop top, a vest crop style when we pulled it out. It has sleeves, which is crazy. Now the second sleeve isn't quite done, but it's got sleeves. So it's grown quite a bit. Let's see if I can not make a mess. I'm gonna make a mess. All my stuff is tangled. It's been up here. I have not worked on this in this last week. The last week was a little bit chaotic, but that's okay. That's how life is. And the yarn's not going to complain and whine. It's already been sitting for 10 years. If anything, if it were going to complain and whine, it would shut up now because now it has sleeves and it didn't have sleeves before. So I have a finished sleeve right here. And then this one, I put it on the 6s. It's really supposed to be 9s to finish that cuff off. So I'm going to take it downstairs, or when I take it downstairs, and redo the cuff. Big deal. That's not like my purple and black sweater where I had to rip out like a full skein. It's okay. You know, so this right here, literally 10 years old. And that's all, it didn't have sleeves. So it had all that. It's not long enough and it didn't have sleeves. So that's a lot that I got to put on this after I'd been hibernating for 10 years. That is amazing. So I'm not pressing myself that, oh, you found these, you have to finish it in a week. You have to finish it in 2 weeks. No, it's been hibernating for decades. 2 weeks isn't gonna make a difference. It just isn't. And I'm gonna love it either way. I just am. Those socks are amazing and I'm going to love them. And this one at some point got thrown in the washing machine and it's slightly felted and it's fuzzy and squishy and warm and amazing. Wow. So they're gonna be loved. And that is just perfection. The color is beautiful, everything else, I really like it. That's what's important. So when it gets done, it's going to me. I'm gonna be happy either way. I had another one I did work on. Yeah, my brown sweater. I know, I just showed it to you yesterday and it wasn't back on the, well, it was on the needles, but I needed to hatch another yarn, another skein of yarn to it. And that is, and I did that tonight. That is this one. And this is, where's the other ball band? Where's the ball band? Oh, this one's got both of them. This one's greedy. It's got both ball bands. So this is Patton's Classic Wool, worsted weight. There you go. And this is a tweed. Love that. I don't know, obviously around this time period, because before this one's about 5 years old. Before this, tweed was not my thing. Like whatever. I like tweed. I do. I really do now. It really calls to me, but I haven't really done a lot with it. I mean, I started this and didn't finish it. And it's just been hibernating. It just has. So if you're not familiar with this yarn, it is 90% wool, 7% acrylic, 3% viscose, 100 grams, 3.5 yarns, 3.5 ounces. It's 210 yards. This is a hand wash yarn made in Turkey. It will felt. Okay, if you like, I remember a while back and everything, there was the felting craze. Everyone was felting like slippers and bags and everything. This would be perfect for that. And it's already got tweedy bits in it. It's got that rich brown color, and it's got the tweed is that golden yellow, red, some orange, some green. It's just a cacophony, I don't even know if that's the right word, of colors. Really pretty. So there we go. I started this. The ball band was on it, but the glue failed. Whatever. It's not a big deal. I did add earlier today. So if we remember, I had to pull out an entire skein of yarn on this because for one, it was a little bit too small. And I knew that the way I did decreases and everything, more like an hourglass shape. I've always had an hourglass shape, but it's a little bigger now. So I joke and say it's like an hour and a half, right? Like, ooh, just a little bigger, but it's fine. And it was too small when I was making it, and I just didn't have the guts, didn't have the nerve, just didn't have the fortitude to rip it out. Not at that time. Well, we discovered it in the bin, so I didn't have a problem ripping it out. It'd been years. It's okay. It'd been in timeout long enough. So I was able to just rip that out and not have hard feelings. And a lot of times with our projects, when we make a mistake or there's a design thing that we don't like, we just took a wrong turn, we're too close to the situation, and that's, we get our feelings hurt. We don't want to rip it out. This was just a couple days ago. I ripped out my black and purple sweater all the way to the yoke, got to rip out some more. It's okay. Pull that Band-Aid off. You can do it. If you got to put it in hibernation for a little while, that's fine too. Just pick it back up. You can do it. So that's what I did. A full skein of yarn was caked up, and I was able to, now this is progress. I used all of that yarn that I had ripped back. It finally, right? I had gotten through all of that. I am finally moving forward. Everything else was, the 2 steps back. Yeah. And now, to finally start to move forward. So really happy with that. So here we go. It's just a simple, crew neck. I'll try it on again. I think it's fine. I still have this attached so I can change the neck without a bunch of ends. If I do something larger and everything, I don't have a bunch of ends to deal with. And I do have waist shaping in here, a lot of waist shaping and a lot of hip shaping because it goes out too. So I got that too. But I attached the yarn, and can we see the ribbing down there? That's all new yarn. That's all new. So it was just to here previously, and I think, is that like 15 inches? I don't know. I require a longer sweater than that. I like a longer sweater than that. That is just my preference, but I'm also long-waisted, so we're all different. And right now, just kind of relaxed. It's pushing that 17 inches right now. I'll probably go to 18, 19. I'll try it on. Probably after I get off here, I'll put it on try-on cords and just to see if that band is wide enough for one thing, and is it long enough for me. Previously, it went to closer to like the top of my jeans, and that's not really that comfortable. I mean, it covered everything, but if you move around everything, I don't want skin showing. I'm not, I'm not wearing a belly shirt. I am past that age. I didn't wear belly shirts when belly shirts would have been the age. You know what I'm getting at? So I'm not going to go that route. So I do like things longer. I am very long torsoed. I'm 5'8", long torsoed. So I'm adding the length. And because I'm making it, I can. Because I'm making it, I can tailor it to fit my body and make sure it's long enough. So that's exciting. This is 100% all new right there. Look at that. And you can see that right here to here. That is all new. That is my ribbing And I'm not sure. Like I said, I'll try that on at that stage and see if I think the ribbing is long enough. If it is, I bind off and then I just have sleeves. And you can't even be upset on sleeves because last week I finished a sweater and it needed both sleeves the previous week. I got 2 sleeves done, 2 sleeves. And if you're new here, the joke on that is sleeves is, you know, I tend to be on Sleeve Island. Sleeves are not hard. They're not. I just have done exciting parts. I've done all the body work. I've done that. And I drag on the sleeves. There's no reason. There's no rhyme or reason. There really isn't. They're not hard. So I just buckled down last week and I finished a sweater. And again, if you're new here, I've got at least 7 sweaters, different designs, different colors, different needle sizes that I have going right now. Easily pull out 7 different sweaters. In previous weeks, I had put a little bit on each one because I thought that was fun. Like, how chaotic. I mean, there's 7 days in a week and I worked on 7 different sweaters. That's amazing. But this last week, I wanted to finish a project. I wanted something done. Yes, I finished the preemie baby slippers, socks for grandson who's still holding tight. So I got that and everything for our little guy and everything that he'll be born. He's pushing. He's wanting to be born, right? So we're just hoping he stays in just a little bit longer. He's not quite ready. He's not quite done yet. So I don't know. That's a lot that I'm really working on out of the bin. And you know, it's one of those, if I go back and dig in some more, I might find some other stuff that I got to kind of put into the mix. And we've got a lot of vintage. These are some vintage projects. When you have a project that's pushing 20 years old, that's some vintage stuff, and actively working on it, that's crazy. But I am curious. We didn't get to the bottom yet. We've gotten through quite a bit of what was in here. And this would mean, like, this was a scarf. You can see what was wrapped on it. That right there was a scarf that when we pulled it out and looked at it, I'm like, it's not going to get finished. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous yarns, an alpaca blend. It's gorgeous. But that particular scarf was not going to get done. Ta-da! There you go. Dealt with it. So there are some things that have been dealt with, which is nice. There's some other stuff that I need to find the pattern for. So do we have anything in here that we haven't kind of... Oh, here we go. This is going to be pulled out. All right. This is a sock. Yeah, this is a sock. And it's 150 gram ball. It's all I had. Now, doing a small enough ankle sock like this, you can get 1 pair out of a 50 gram ball of yarn. I've got the little tiny circular needles on there. Those hurt. We're all different. I love the concept. See, I did that. Yeah, I love the concept of them. I think it's amazing. It's wonderful. It really is. But you're like this. It's so tiny. It's so tiny, and it hurts right through here. It cramps my hands. And if it cramps your hands, don't do it. I've got double pointed needles. I love my double pointed needles. I could do the circular needle method. I'm not a fan. Have I actually done it? Not really. Do I want to? Nope, not at all. Love my double points. I'm happy with those. I really wanted to get involved with, you know, I wanted to love these. I've got multiple sets, not really pairs, it's circular. I've got multiple of these. Just couldn't get the right grip on it to really make it work. So this is going to be one of those, let's pull it out. Although, I don't know. I mean, it's a small sock. You know, that'd fit my daughter-in-law. That would fit my daughter-in-law. She's in the hospital right now. Yeah, she's in the hospital, and oh, baby is 3 pounds. 3 pounds. Yeah, they're guesstimating. He is 31 weeks, and he's about 3 pounds. So we're just hoping he sticks around just a tad bit longer to grow, lungs to be everything else, all the things that happen from 31 weeks to 40 weeks. But they're pushing for 34. So these would fit. Everything's fine. The baby's still healthy. Mommy's still healthy and everything. She's just going to be on bed rest and in the hospital until baby comes. So on these would fit her. Pretty sure this would fit her. I should finish it. I should, huh? I thought this was going to be easy win, just rip it all out. But I'll weigh this ball. Oh, I do. I have the gram scale. I have the one that goes down to the tiniest bits. If it looks like I weigh both of them and I'm at that halfway point and I have enough, even if I don't, I could finish the toe off in another color and then start with this one. I should do these. I mean, I've got one almost done. And then her Christmas present thing would be done. Or you know, knowing me, I mean, I just gave her a pair because, yeah, I just gave her a pair. Her birthday was in March, earlier this month. And yeah, knowing me after the baby and stuff like that, I would probably give her another pair and then still have to make more at the end of the year. But I could do these. I could finish this and that would be hers. And yeah. Okay. I'm going to set that over there and pretend we didn't have that conversation, but I got to finish that one. All right. I have something else in here. I have anything else in here? What's this? What is this? Oh, this looks like I can pull it out. What is it? Oh, it's big needles. Oh my gosh, look at this. Everybody who makes fun of me on not liking big needles, I did this voluntarily. Remember, this bin is at least 3 years old. I did this voluntarily. Look at those big needles. I don't even know what size that is. It's size huge. That is size huge, big needles. And this is bulky. Woohoo! Guess what? I'm gonna rip that out. Oh yeah. I gotta win. I gotta win. We're gonna clear it up. I gotta win. Oh, look at this. We're gonna do it right now. I'm gonna just rip it off. Oh yeah. Just like the bandage. Just rip it off. Oh, ha ha! There we go. We're just gonna go like that. Oh, I know what this yarn is too. This is Knit Picks. It is a bulky. Yes, I voluntarily bought bulky yarn. I get it. It is a bulky weight. Now, there was years ago, and they do this periodically, but I got this a lot of years ago. Like I said, this bin's at least 3 years. So they had some sweater kits that had like the reindeer and the elk and everything on it, and the full bulky kits, and it's the multiple colors of gray and cream and black. Well, I got 2 of them. And I got them for the yarn. I mean, obviously I have the pattern. I can use the pattern, but I got it for the yarn. And, you know, throughout the years, that's different things like, well, what should I make with said bulky yarn? Because I don't want to make the pattern that came with it. And there are some patterns that I do find entertaining and interesting and bulky. But that's what this is. So I'm going to put this back with the kit so then all the same yarn stays together. And I can do whatever with it. But if I need it, it'll be available. Woohoo! Look at that. Like that. Alrighty, so we're making progress. This was stuffed full. There are some things that you haven't really seen in full detail in here, and there's some other things that need to be taken care of. I do have a scarf, the double scarves, that's very, very sheer. I've gotten a lot done on that. It's not up here, but I've gotten a lot done on that. I've gotten some beads on the brown one, and I've started beading the other one. It's not finished yet, and then that's a matter of, I've got only one end that still needs beading. That's it. And then block it. There you go. And that's a gorgeous set. So, you know, the whole bin has decreased immensely. So there's some more stuff. We'll go through some more stuff and then try to figure out what's going to happen with some of them. Some things are just going to take a little bit more, like, yeah, I've got to do that. But it is interesting to find that. Now there's another pair of socks in there that didn't make the cut. It did not make the cut. Let me see if I can pull that. Where's that one at? There we go. So this pair, for all the people that are new here, this one did not make the cut. This one is one of the like catboardy sock patterns, the pathway-weighted new socks, just a very different way of doing the sock construction. That, and I don't know if I like the yarn. I don't know if I like the way that feels. I mean, I get it. This is old. But so's my green ones, and they don't feel like this. Now, I like how the cable, this goes up in a spiral. You know, that's crossing your stitches. It's like a mini cable, and it goes around the sock. I do like that. And there are some different constructions with this. So this is the toe up. I'm not the best fan of toe up, but I tried it. Because this was a whole, I got the book as an experiment. I tried it and I made the one sock. What I don't like about the toe up socks, I don't like how that bind off looks. I've not been able to get a pretty bind off. You know, I mean, this one will actually fit on with the rest of the sock, but it's not. Here's an example. This is my top down. That just looks, it's straight. There's no weird bumps here. It's got all the stretch, right? I have no issues with that, with the stretch. I like that. And I've not been able to replicate that. I know there's lots of different stretchy bind offs that are supposed to help. I could pull that out and try again, but I don't know. Not happy with that. I did the best I could back in the day. This one's not on needles at all. You know, I just took the needles. And that pattern right there, you have a lot of stitches, so I'd have to figure all that out. This one didn't make the cut. It's getting pulled out. Repurpose with the yarn, do something, I don't know. So it feels weird. What's in this one? So this is a Germany sock yarn. I love my Germany sock yarns. This is the Tron. It's come on. It's the Trekking Pro Natura. That's why. Okay. It's a little bit different. So Trekking Pro Natura. Let's look at the composition. It does have a different feel. It's not the typical woolly feel. So what am I feeling on it? That's what I'm trying to ask. Okay, that's why. It's 75% new wool and 25% bamboo. That's why it has a dry feeling. Yeah, like a bamboo. It does. It has a dry feeling to it. So this was the 100 grams, 420 meters, 2.5 ounces. Actually, 100 grams is 3.5 ounces. That's a misprint. And it's 459 yards, made in Germany. So I love the trekking yarn. That's just an interesting feeling. So with the bamboo in there, that has a lot of antimicrobial properties for socks and something for, you know, odor control. That would really help and make a difference on that. But I just haven't grabbed the ball winder and wound those up and put that back on the shelf, but they have not made the cut. I am not going to go ahead and try to figure out where I'm at in that pattern and make that. I'm not. I'm not feeling it, and I'm not going to feel guilty. The other blue pair, I think I won't do it on the tiny little circulars because that's just very painful. I'll just grab my double points. I'll measure those, make sure that these are either zeros or ones. I don't know which ones they are offhand, and do that. Weigh the yarn to make sure that I don't mistake and, you know, oh look, I've gone ahead and I went to the second one and now the toes are different. It's okay if both the toes are different, right? You know, so if I find out that, hey, it's not going to be enough, I could change right now and put a different color, finish it off with a different color, and on the second sock do the same thing, and then they match. So out of the bin, I found 3 pair of socks. Did I find 3 or 4? Let's see. And, okay, in this one I found 3 pair of socks, and it looks like I'm going to work with 2 of them. In the first bin, I did find 1 pair of socks, and that one didn't make the cut either. So not too bad with things that are getting worked on, things that are getting finished, and making those decisions that need to be made of no. And you know what? If you're doing this in your world, in your life, and if you're doing the Tackle It series, regardless of how you're applying it in your life, you have the ability to say no. You know, so what if you started it? That's okay. You can still pull it out and you can reuse the yarn for something else. It doesn't matter. You had fun when you made it. This does not hurt my feelings. I made it through one sock and part of another sock. Obviously there was something in it I liked. I had fun. I had enjoyment at the time. I just moved on. So ripping it out now, it doesn't hurt my feelings, well, especially now because I don't remember working on it, you know, so I'm not upset about that. But it doesn't hurt my feelings, and it definitely does not take away from the joy that I had when I was working on it. So whatever it is that you're doing in your life and your Tackle It series, you know, you have permission to say no on things. Some things you'll look at and go, oh, I want to pull it out, and then kind of look at it a little bit more and go, oh, you know what? It's probably better I don't. It's probably better I just finish it. I've got a lot of socks to make, and I've got a good ways on this. And this is just a vanilla sock pattern. There's nothing fancy about this. I can recreate this. There's nothing that this wasn't following a pattern like this. I've got to reread and figure out what I'm doing, right? And I had to figure out where I'm at in the pattern. This, if I wanted to do it, wow, I'd have to go grab the book, figure out where it's at. You know, there's a lot of stuff, but that's just a plain simple, that's my vanilla sock pattern. I could do that. That's not an issue. So that's kind of a fun way to look at it. This is cool. I didn't expect to pull from the box and find so many things that I wanted to work on. I really didn't. I thought that it would be, I mean, obviously they got banished to the box to begin with, right? And I figured it would be a chore. I thought, oh, I can just add one in every so often, you know, let's show some things. I'll add one in, kind of gut it, right? You know, just like sit down and work on it for an hour, at least an hour a week. You can do it, right? Punishment knitting. Yeah, totally. 100%. Totally thought the box was going to be this. The Tackle It series was going to be my punishment box. That's what I thought. And it's not been. It's been a joy. It's been a delight. I have finished an actual short sleeve sweater for myself that was in the box. I finished another outfit like that pink one for my granddaughter. It was in the box, right? I mean, like, wow, okay. There's things that are getting done. Those scarves are just about done. I finished all the knitting. All I have to do is do the beaded bind off on one end. All of that was new. It's been hibernating in the box. Why? So I'm shocked, is all I can say. Absolutely shocked that this has not been the dreaded Tuesday that I was expecting. I just being honest, you know, like, oh, it's gonna be Tuesday and I gotta go work on something I don't want to work on. It got banished for a reason. I don't want to do it. And I've actively got multiple projects that I'm working on. I mean, the socks have grown. The brown sweater, I ripped out a full skein of yarn and I've already put that back, and I'm on virgin yarn. I'm on fresh yarn that has not been knit before. That's exciting. I've gone through a full skein of yarn, actually almost 2 on the Miranda sweater. I mean, hello, that's not punishment. There's excitement there. This is totally blowing my mind. I don't know if it's I'm cleaning up. No, because I don't like to clean. But you know what I'm getting at? You know, just a clearing. I don't know. Maybe that's it. It's just clearing all the stuff. And, you know, I didn't realize certain things were, you know, in there as far as like that. But taking off the needles. Just, I don't need them. Take them off the needles. Repurpose them. Now, it's funny on this. I get to reclaim my needles. Yeah, you can tell I was missing those. Are you kidding me? What are these? 11s? 15s? I don't know. These are big. These are big. This is not my norm. So it's not like I was missing them. Okay. That's not, you know, the joke is, why do you have such big needles? You don't use them? Because there are times that this will come in handy. That's not a joke. It is not my go-to. It is not my everyday. I do like having the larger, I don't need a ton of them, but I do like having the larger needles. There are some bulkier things and some bigger things that it is nice to be able to grab hold of and make. I do make a lot of fun on bulky yarn. It's not my go-to, it's not my favorite, but I do have some. And if I have the right pattern and I see it, I will use it. There's no doubt about it, because there's come on, there's some gorgeous designs in all weights of yarn, right? There's some gorgeous designs, and all it takes is the right design that I happen to see at the right day. You know how that goes, and it's like, I have to have it. I have to have it. And there are some bulky things in this room that as I clean up and I get to, I will probably end up in that same boat of I have to have it, and you'll see me with voluntarily grabbing big yarn and big needles. Not anytime soon. Let's not count on that. Not anytime soon. But it could happen. It could happen. So anyway, that's what we've got. That's where we're at right now. Progress. A lot of progress on all of the things, and to have a lot actively being worked on. You know, what's funny, I had comments like, what are you going to do when you empty out your bins? I'm like, are you kidding me? If you've been watching my channel for the last, you know, June will be 2 years. So I've had a channel for June will be 2 years. So if you've been part of this or with me for that time, and even if you haven't, there's a lot of videos. You got a lot of catching up to. Go back, like and subscribe, all of them, right? Yeah, there's a ton. I got like 800 videos. I talk a lot, right? I'm really happy with yarn. It's a thing. So, you know, I've started a lot of things. And some of you, Kay, I love you, have written me lists of things that I have not finished. And I think that's great. And, you know, some people would think one way or the other, are you kidding me? I screenshotted it. I'm like, woohoo! I screenshotted that. I'm like, I forgot about a few of those. I'm not going to lie. I completely forgot about them. And I'm like, oh, I was working on that, wasn't I? And that part just cracks me up. So we know what can go back in the bins. The things that you've seen me start in the last year and a half plus. Yeah, those things that haven't gotten finished, the bin won't be empty. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to put just regular yarn that I purchased like all the other cubes. It'll be like projects and bags and stuff. But yeah, it's not going to be empty. I got stuff. I got stuff. Because the same thing that made all these things go into the bin, you know, years ago. And the reason I keep saying 3 years for anybody that's new here is we moved into this house 3 years ago. And prior to moving, I had packed up all my yarn, of course, you know, the important things, and all the projects I put in different bags. And when we unpacked, I put the projects in a couple of bins like this. So they were already put together with all their yarn, all their whatever. And that's why you had like the socks and the Ziploc bags and things like that. That's not how I normally kept them. But for the move, that's what I did. And then when we moved in here 3 years ago, they got put in the bins and they just haven't seen the light of day since. So, you know, I know they've been 3 years for that. And then the Miranda sweater, I know when the pattern came out. And the brown sweater, I know I started before we moved, in a couple years before we moved. So that's why I'm guessing on some of the different timelines. The socks, I printed the pattern off 19 years ago. February was 19 years. You know, and then I printed it because I was actually making them then. And so, yeah, so there's certain things that I have some timestamps on, but anything that's in the bin is 3+ years. So that's where that's coming from. Anyway, that's where we're at. Progress, happiness, working on all the yarny goodness. And let me know if you're doing something with the Tackle It series and what you're doing. What's your interpretation on it? Because this is mine, but it doesn't have to be the same for you. Whatever it is that you feel like you need to tackle, you'd like to tackle in your life. It's not like you feel like it. Nobody's forcing you, but you'd like to just jump on and go, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take back that space. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to take back this space. I'm going to see what's in here hiding. I'm going to just own it. Just grab it, and it doesn't need to have 10-year projects in it. It doesn't need to have that. I'm going to wear those projects with happiness and pride and satisfaction. And I walk taller when I'm wearing something I made. I really do. Yes. You know, I get all excited. I'm like, woohoo, look, I made it. I made it. And then people don't say anything fast enough because, you know, they know that I have the channel and stuff and everything. So then I'm like waiting for them to say something, and they didn't say something in the first 3 seconds. I'm like, I made it. Yeah, see, I did it. I did it. Such a child. I cannot hold off. I can't wait for the compliment. I'm just like, it's been 3 seconds. Why haven't you complimented me? It's amazing. Yeah, so that's it. And that's how I'm going to be with every single sweater that I'm working on right now. 100%. I've got multiple sweaters going for myself, and they are all different styles and colors, not just the stuff that I showed today. And yeah, I'll be like that with all of them. You know, I want to do the whole when it's colder next year, because, well, actually we're getting a little warmer, is wear a different sweater every day for as long as I can until somebody says something. You know, it's like, I made this one. I made this one. I made this one. Like my own little internal fashion show. That's where I'm headed for. Yes. And I don't know how long or how many garments, but it's like, that's my fashion show. I've got it in my head. Nobody else will pay attention. Nobody else will know, but that doesn't matter. I'll know. And yes. And it'll be when I walk into work, I'll have that, I can see it, the vision, you know, like walking down the red carpet and everything. I won't walk like those snobby models because, you know, that'll be weird, but you know, because it'll look really odd and everything walking to the building. But in my head, I will. Yes. Not physically, because that might be a little much. Maybe. I'll do it for my husband. Yeah. I'll do the model walk for my husband. Yeah, that'll be fun, but not for everyone else, because that's special. All right. Everybody, I'm going to go ahead. I'm getting silly now. I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.